Hi guys, so today we're gonna make cinnamon rolls. So first we got our bowl, and then we have our flour, which I already measured it out. It's 2 3/4 cup flour. We're gonna dump that in, and try not to make a mess like I do. And then it's 3 tablespoons of sugar, which I measured. Here's our tablespoon. We'll dump that in. And then it says 1 teaspoon of salt, which I measured again. There's our teaspoon. And this is the big salt. You can use your salt shakers at home. We dump that in. And a package of yeast. But once again, I still have my big jar of yeast, so I have to measure out 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. So we'll dump that all in, and it says to evenly disperse, which just means that you mix it together and make sure it's all mixed together nicely and evenly. And then once we get that done, we're gonna set it aside. Let me mix it just a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna set that aside, and it says in a small bowl, we're going to put the water in, which I already measured the water, which is a 1/2 cup, and then a 1/4 cup of milk. If you can see where a 1/4 cup is, milk. I'm gonna put that in here. And then 2 teaspoons, which is the little one, of butter. And I already measured that out. When we put that in, might need to help it out. And then it says we need to heat this up until the butter is melted. So I'm gonna put it in our microwave for about 30 seconds and get this melted. So you go 3, 0, go. We just wait. So it's just about done. Okay, we're gonna take it out, and hopefully our butter's pretty melted. We'll have to stir it a little bit to melt it just a little bit more. We'll use our rubber scraper and just give it a little spin, a little stir. And if it doesn't melt all the way, you can put it back in the microwave, but it's pretty close for us. Then we're going to put this mixture into our flour mixture. We're gonna just dump this in, hopefully not splattering everywhere. And we're gonna stir that in a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of start mixing it up. And then we do need to add an egg. So it says add the egg and knead with your hands or a stand mixer. Now I could get my stand mixer out, but I figured most of us would probably be easier to do with our hands. It's good for us to squish it and punch it and pull and do that with our hands. It's a good thing to do. So we put our egg in. And these eggs actually come from our chickens that we have outside. So now we're going to knead it with our hands. I'm going to take my rings off so I don't get them all full of stuff. But kneading it, remember it just means to squish it up with your hands. So we're going to get all gooey, gross. We're going to mix. Hopefully this will come together nicely. We're just gonna keep kneading it till it's not sticky. So this will take a little while, so I'll knead for a while and then we'll come back. All right, so it's starting to come together. It's not so sticky. We'll just kind of knead it a little bit more. And I actually would like to knead it more on the counter, just because I got a little more space to do this. So remember when we knead that you squish it and roll it a little bit. don't need to do it a whole lot because it just says until it's not so sticky. So we just do a little bit more. Just making sure everything's mixed together. All right, that's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it'll be all right. Just kind of make it into a ball. And what I'm going to do now, we need to set it, let it rest. And this is when we put it in our other bowl that's lightly greased. And so I'm gonna just spray it just a little. That way it won't stick to the bowl. So we are going to put this in our bowl and let it rise. It probably will take about an hour. It should double in size, so it should get bigger. So we'll come back in an hour and check it. We're gonna cover it with a towel, and we're going to make sure, come back in an hour and see if it rose. Okay, so our dough has risen. It's about double the size. And what it says to do, we'll get close. We're gonna punch down the dough like we did when we made our bread. So punch it down, and we're gonna take it out. We're gonna get rid of this bowl out of the way. It's kind of sticky. I didn't think it would be, but it is. I already have a lightly floured surface because we're gonna roll out our dough. And it says to roll it to about, oh, let's see, 15 inches by 9 inches. So we're just gonna try our best. It might not be perfect. So we're just gonna roll it out. And I have a rolling pin that I use because it's just easier. And it might not be quite perfect. Just rolling it out. So 15 by 9 is a little bit bigger than a piece of paper. A paper is about 11 by 8. So you know you got to go just a little bit longer and a little bit wider. That'll be about the right size. And I know when I make cinnamon rolls, I make them in the bread machine. And when I get to this part, when I roll it out, I try to keep one edge pretty straight because you'll have to roll them up in a little bit. So here's our piece of paper. This is 11 by 8.5 actually. So we need it a little bit wider yet. It's not quite wide enough. So I'm gonna just see if I can get it a little bit wider. If I can, I can't. Do the best we can. Okay, and we're gonna just call it good. Okay, the next thing is we're going to take some butter and we're going to spread it right onto this dough. So, just like you would butter a piece of bread, just spread it on there. I kind of do it thick, and I leave one edge not buttered, because then when I roll it up, I can pinch it shut there. It won't be slippery because of the butter. So this edge here, I didn't butter. That's pretty good. Nice layer over everything. Like I said, this isn't gonna be perfect, but we're doing the best we can. Okay, the recipe then tells us to take a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. 1/4 is just a little bit smaller. And remember, brown sugar we pack in, so when it comes out, it looks kind of like a sandcastle. And then 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. We're gonna put it in there. I'm gonna actually use my tablespoon to mix it up just because I don't have a spoon right now. Or just mix them together. Because this is what goes inside your cinnamon rolls. So it's, just mix it. Okay, now we're gonna take this and spread it across this as evenly as we can. just use my hand and spread it out. It's okay if it spills off. And once again, I'm leaving that edge alone so that's easier for me to roll it. Because it won't be a cinnamon roll without the swirls. All right, now we are going to roll this. So we're gonna take the edge and just start rolling it up as tight as you can get it. The tighter it is, the better it is. So we just roll it up. And I sometimes pull it back towards me so that it gets nice and tight. And these are a little sticky, which that's okay. Pull it back. All right, so here's my edge. I'm gonna pinch it. That way I know it's gonna stay together. So I'm just pinching it shut. Okay. So it's close, we're almost there, but now we gotta cut them. So what we do, you can take a knife if you want to, but I like to use a piece of thread. I know it's kind of hard, I'll put it against my skin. Just a piece of thread, and you're gonna put it underneath. Take your piece of thread, crisscross the strings like you're gonna tie your shoe. Crisscross and pull it. And what that does is it cuts your cinnamon roll nice and neat. Okay? In our pan, I probably should have done this first. We're going to take our pan, just lightly spray it. So I'm gonna put the cinnamon rolls right in there. I'm gonna get them all cut, and then I'm gonna leave them sit so that they can rise. And then we will, once they double in size it's about an hour, then we will cook them and they should be ready to eat. So I will come back and I'll show you. I probably will take a picture of when they are all done for you guys so that you can see them. Okay, so the cinnamon rolls have about doubled in size. They're way bigger than what they were. So that's good. I'm going to preheat the oven. It says to 375. So bake, 375, start. Once that is done, I will put the cinnamon rolls in, cook them for about 25 minutes or until they get brown, and take them out, and then we can make the glaze. It's the same glaze we've made in class, so I'm not gonna video that. It's just a cup of powdered sugar, some milk or water, 2 tablespoons milk or water, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it up and pour it over top of your cinnamon rolls. So that is what we got. I'll show you, I'll send a picture when it is all done. All right, have a great day.